So I'm doing some digging into iron overload and antioxidants in the body, and I came across this one point talking about how glutathione, which is the body's primary antioxidants, we make it ourselves. It's really important in the liver in terms of neutralizing free radicals, reducing oxidative stress, decreasing inflammation. A lot of chronic disease, chronic illness has to do with our body's inability to make glutathione. The popular supplement NAC, N-acetylcysteine, is a precursor that leads to more glutathione. That's one of the reasons why NAC is such an effective antioxidant. And the point that I was seeing was in states of iron overload, where iron is an extreme pro-radical, it's something that instigates a lot of inflammation, you actually want to avoid glutathione and NAC. And that didn't make a lot of sense to me. So, while glutathione and NAC are generally celebrated for their detox and antioxidant effects, they can become a double-edged sword in the context of iron overload, and here's why. Glutathione can actually increase cellular iron retention. So it can increase iron uptake into the cells by enhancing the activity of divalent metal transporter 1, which is a inner membrane that allows iron to flow in and out. Now, this makes a little bit of sense because in our body's natural defenses against pathogens and environmental toxins, we have something called an iron hiding mechanism. Or what that does is it takes iron away from something that may be in our body trying to steal it. It understands how important it is, and so when somebody tries to hijack it or take it away from us, we latch on, which in the context of a viral, bacterial, parasitic infection is really important because you're starving those bacteria, the pathogens out. But if the problem is too much iron in the cell, you're compounding the problem. So when iron is not properly bound through conditions of low ceruloplasmin or transferrin, this can fuel the Fenton reaction, which is what makes iron so dangerous in terms of compounding that oxidative stress. In these states of either primary or secondary iron overload, glutathione and NAC are designed to neutralize ROS, but they don't actually remove it, right? They just pack it in the cell, which on the surface can alleviate some of the symptoms, but it doesn't actually address the root cause of too much iron, no way to properly neutralize it and mobilize it. So this can make the situation worse over time by creating a false sense of protection while damage continues. Meanwhile, you're going to the doctor and getting read that your iron is low, and so you start supplementing more iron and making things even worse. But it shifts the redox balance in a way that increases the amount of unbound iron, increasing the reactivity, increasing oxidative stress. Additionally, NAC may liberate stored iron from ferritin. So ferritin is an iron storage protein, and it's one way that free iron gets neutralized. As long as iron is bound to something, it's a lot less reactive. So NAC can mobilize iron from ferritin, decouple it, and this is going to increase the amount of free iron in circulation. And if the liver or bone marrow isn't equipped to repackage or excrete that iron and use it quickly, this can actually worsen inflammation, beta cell stress, and organ damage. If glutathione and NAC aren't the right things to do in a state of oxidative stress or iron-induced oxidative stress, what do we do instead? We need to make sure that we're balancing the antioxidant system by addressing iron transport first. We need to make sure we have tools in the toolbox to handle whatever free iron there is existing. So we can support ceruloplasmin with copper and retinol. Those are two of the main movers for ceruloplasmin production. We avoid any iron-enriched foods, enriched grains, supplements, you name it. And we use iron regulators like lactoferrin, IP6, and curcumin, which is in turmeric. Then we need to prioritize cofactors that help move and bind iron safely. So things that kind of naturally neutralize iron or help facilitate the neutralization of iron: magnesium, zinc, choline. And there are other antioxidants beyond just glutathione and NAC that reduce oxidative stress without impacting iron. And this is astaxanthin, polyphenols like quercetin, EGCG in green tea, and resveratrol, methylene blue as well. And is it okay to use glutathione and NAC? Once you have all of the tools in place to properly utilize and mobilize iron, then that's when glutathione and NAC start to have their advertised effects, supporting detox, redox recovery, and cellular repair. So think of them as a secondary phase support, not the first line intervention in these high iron states.